Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. If you're into 3D printing but you don't like painting, or maybe the paint is too expensive or airbrushes or whatever, I'm here to share with you guys a super simple alternative that can help get your boring 3D prints looking from bland and one color to looking something like this without any sort of paint or airbrush needed. And let's get into the video. So the first step, as always, is going to be printing the file. So I'm going to be jumping over to the computer and showing you guys what I did in Cura to slice this and then how I printed it. So in case you guys wanted to see the exact file that I use for the Spider-Man, it is this Spider-Man bust from 3D World STL Studio. Okay, so I'm in Cura and this is the base for the bust. It's completely flat, so you don't need any build plate adhesion and there's no overhangs. So you don't really need any support or build plate adhesion, which is nice, so that'll just be pretty quick. The infill that I had it at was 10% on a grid. So this is going to take about 5 hours and use 40 grams, so like nothing. As for the actual bust itself, I did actually print it a little bit faster than I probably should have. I don't have the high speed filament on and I printed this pretty quickly. And there's details like in the eyes that you can see and some of the suit that did not transfer well because it was printing so fast. So once again, you really don't need any supports or build plate adhesion, so you're good there. If you want to put some tree supports maybe under his chin, I did have a little bit of issue there. And here are both of the printed pieces. This is the base that took about 4 hours, and the actual Spider-Man himself I think took around 10 hours. So yeah, that's both of the pieces. Now that you guys have your model printed off, it's time to go over and do the easy alternative to painting to help get your prints looking like this. So let me give you guys a quick rundown of all of the materials that you're going to need. First and foremost, you're going to need your print. This is the Spider-Man bust that I printed out along with the stand. Next up, this might come as a surprise to some of you guys, but yes, Sharpie markers. Surprisingly enough, these markers do work really well on raw 3D prints. Nothing special about these ones. These are just Bic brand permanent markers. If you want the exact colors that I use, this is Deep Sea Blue and the gray one is Stone Gray. And you can actually get those at like a dollar store or Walmart. And then this is a little bit of a different marker. This is Pen Gear's metallic marker. It's a silver, so it kind of shines a little bit more than just a regular gray. And of course, you'll need some sort of glue or use the Gorilla Glue that I did. Now, the first step I'm going to be taking is coloring in the letters on the stand. So using this metallic silver, I'm just going to lightly graze over each of the letters as I color them in. So you're just going to have to practice a steady hand and just lightly draw over and trace each of the letters. And a fair warning now, this is not going to be as precise or maybe even as pretty as multicolor printing or painting it with an airbrush or a acrylic paint or anything like that. These are markers at the end of the day, and especially with no primer on the actual print itself, it's not going to hold as well and might even run a little bit. But if you have a quick project like I did that you just want to get done and you don't want to spend a bunch of time working on it, you just want it to look pretty cool on a shelf or for something like that, this is a great and fast alternative to painting. And as I finish up the last letter on the stand is actually complete. That's all I wanted to do to it, was get the letters to pop, and that's it. So moving on, we're going to start on the Spider-Man. And his webbing on this suit isn't black like it usually is. In the Sam Raimi movies, it's actually sort of a silvery chrome, kind of like the marker. So I'm going to be using that same one to trace the spider logo and all of the webbing along the entire suit. So starting on the top of his head, just start tracing all of the webs. Be a little bit careful, try not to let the marker run too much. It is going to happen though, this is not going to be 100% precise, but this is going to save you a ton of time and a ton of money, especially if you're not really into painting or airbrushing and you don't want to have to buy all the equipment. This is a lot cheaper and a lot more affordable to be able to do if you're into 3D printing. And once I was reaching the end of the mask, I wanted to see how the lenses would look. Before I worked on the rest of the body, I just wanted to test how the lenses would look. So I used the Stone Gray marker that I had and started to fill in the eye lenses with that. And hey, experimenting and trial and error are all part of the hobby, and you're gonna live and learn while you're doing this. I used this marker because I thought it was going to come out a lot lighter than the rest of the other colors, especially the silver. I thought it was going to be lighter than that one and come out more white, but it came out darker, and that's just because the chemicals that are in this marker blend and get soaked up by the PLA a lot more, and just turned out to be more of a darker red. So I just went with it, and I kind of liked the look of it. It kind of gave the lenses a little bit more of a shadowed look. So I just went through with it. So like I said, you're just gonna have to do a lot of experimenting. Maybe print out a couple of pieces and try different markers and stuff that you could find at a store. Just to try different stuff, just experiment and see what works and what doesn't work. So now I'm going to use the same marker again and color in the front-facing spider logo that he has on his suit. I never even realized until I started making the suit that the one in the back is just red. I always thought it was black for some reason. I think they might have changed it in the movies. But yes, that one's got to stay red. Next up is the blue part of the suit. Now, because like I said, these markers are kind of funky, and different markers I sure have different effects on the PLA that you're using with the different colors and blah blah blah. But anyways, this marker ran really easily and was really getting soaked up by the PLA, so you had to be very careful on how much ink pretty much you use throughout the blue part of the suit. But because the color mixing with the red, it kind of gave it almost a dark blue purplish effect. So it actually worked out really good, and it really matched the color that he has in his suit. And as you can see, it's really starting to come together, and you can really get an idea of how the entire model is going to look at the end. So the next tricky part was just making sure that I didn't get any of the blue on the spider on the back of his suit, just because that one's going to be red, and once again I'm trying to use the least amount of materials as possible. And it worked out pretty good. It kind of ran a little bit over some of the edges of the spider, but none of it went all the way up on top. So it actually worked out very well, and I just kept going along the entire suit. So here's the progress halfway through his suit using the blue marker on his back and sides. And like I said, it's not going to be 100% perfect because it is not a taped off painted job. But for the amount of money used on materials for this project that I had to spend, it was exactly what I needed. The final step in this project was just gluing the two pieces together using this Gorilla Glue that I have, and literally just glue the two pieces together. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope it helped you in case you didn't want to spend a lot of money on your next project and you just wanted to make a nice decoration for your man cave or whatever. My next project that I plan on working on is a Deadpool figurine that I'm going to be making before the next movie comes out, and I'm going to be airbrushing it and priming it and going the whole 9 yards with it. So if you'd like to see that and you'd like to stay updated on my future videos, please consider subscribing to the channel. It really means a lot to me, and I'll see you guys in the next video.